After the era of 72-year-old Xi Jinping ends, what are the outcomes for China's political landscapes? And would the Chinese people have the heart to take steps toward freedom and democracy during that time?
I think this question is very important now, because this question will affect the fate of the whole world. Okay, I would say that when I watch on China, okay, you will see from the Mao Zedong's era and also Deng Xiaoping's era, and you see in the brilliant golden 1980s, there are many people fighting, like the Tiananmen incident. Many people fight for freedom and democracy against corruption whatsoever. They are concerned about their own dignity. And in China, there's a turn after the crackdown or the massacre of 1989. So there's a turn that people turn inside to think we need to make money on our own more than anything. There's a huge kind of saying about that. And in Jiang Zemin's and Hu Jintao's era, many people want to make money. Don't talk about democracy. They are in my heart, but they think that China would need to make money, need to be rich first before we move upon whether we are safe, we are democratic, we're liberal, whatsoever, whether we are conservative. This is something that they would not like to talk about ideologies. What they see about is money. And then China has a kind of nationalism, because nationalism replaces communism as the key ideology. It is a kind of mixture. Communism means totalitarianism, and also plus nationalism is a very huge kind of weird kind of animal beast in the whole world. Right? So people are now sucked into this kind of thinking. I've been a commercial lawyer at the turn of the century, and I've been spending quite some years in mainland China, in Beijing, Shanghai, and in some remote places, because I need to do due diligence in certain places and in M&A activities. So I would see a lot of people are really different from what we have thought. But I would see that, is there a civil society in China? Is there a way that they can have bonds and they are really having a good ethos that they can really live up to, like respect the veracity and also justice and also mercy? I think these are the key pillars of a civilization. I would not say it is no, but I think it's weakened to a very substantial extent. So if you ask me, back in 90s, yes, I think the hope is there. Nowadays, I think that there's a huge decline of civilized kind of civilization kind of thing. And that means that they are now moving towards a very different regime, because CCP has been cracking down on the society, and these people will need to rethink and reorganize. But there's lack of that organization. You see a lot of lawyers have been actionists, activists have been protesting, and in the courtroom of CCP, of course, it needs to somewhere, but actually nowhere, right? But you will see that they are very brave and courageous. They are symbols in the sky, like Liu Xiaobo, like Wang Quanzhang. Many people are really fighting very hard on all these things, but they lack the repercussions of the people. Do you know that the Chinese people know about it? To some extent, yes, because they can cross the firewall and to access the world, like this piece of information. But the point is, are they really taking action? That's the key. I would say that if the economy is down, like throughout these years, reaching a point that they are unemployed, they have no way to see, they would like to reflect, because they are suffering, painful, bitterness, will make them reflect what's happening. So along all these weeks or months, you will see that there's a kind of toilet revolution. In the toilet, there are many people saying, because you close the door when the people say, so people will write the words on the thing. So no one knows, because there's no CCTV at the toilet. So many people will say, down with CCP, down with Xi Jinping, and these things. There's a Chongqing, there's a southwestern city. Some broadcast some.
I saw that about 2 weeks ago or something, recently. Yeah.
Yes, that brave man is now in the UK with the whole family. So it is, they got all the things automatically set up. They book a hotel room. key in the scheduled date for the lighting. They went away, and then at the day they have remote control to get this in. Very courageous and very smart. And you see that people are protesting in the bridge, on the bridges of Beijing. They are doing something. So if you see that I have no hope about China, I think it's not true. But I think that if they want to really do something really helpful, then there must be some bonding between them, and they not necessarily the bonding that I know each other, but some kind of ideological, or in terms of ethos, they have some kind of things that this is something that echoed in my mind, and everything you see, because of this echoing, because of this voice, we will need to do something, and they have courage to do so. I think in these 2 years, I will see that bit by bit, more and more, because of the economy is declining. People are now fighting for that. It's not just to ask for more bread, more food. It's for freedom, anti-CCP, and this kind of thing. It is different from 5 years ago, 10 years ago. So I see the hope is there. But I think it is still very fragile, very low stage. So in terms of what we can do is to encourage more people to rethink about it. In my own mind, I don't think a supreme big China, even if democratic, will resolve any problem. I would see that many people will really respect that a federal system or different countries in China, many Chinas, the Guangdong, Shanghai, Beijing, and in terms of that thing, there's a rule of law, democracy, constitutional democracy. This is something that they need to cherish. If they have that kind of mindset, this will bring a different paradigm. Because in Chinese history, 3,000 years, I think the years of being segregated into different countries would be much longer than a unified China. A unified kingdom is the kind of wishful thinking by the dictators. But I think in the reality, it's not at the time. So the China is not stable all through these years, unlike the US, because it's not democracy. It's not a republic. Okay, they cannot respect the different views of people and to have kind of consolidate together. They will have fighting, and you see that this kind of thing will need to be changing. Many Chinese people do not have this kind of thought because they do not know the history of the whole world, like the US. They have only very very surface, superficial kind of understanding about the US. But they need to know how the Mayflower incident has come to play and how the faith is deep rooted in the American minds. I think this is something that China does not. If China does not have that kind of faith in God, or not necessarily God in that sense, but as some kinds of transcendental being that is watching us. And I think that that's something that we need to really think about. It's not you lost your life and then you die and then there's nothing. Then you become some ashes. If you think in that way, and actually many Chinese people in fact in that way, atheists, say if they think that way, this will lead to a kind of, I will need to grasp anything, I can do anything at my wish. I need to earn money, get power, to bully against other and be the king and be the king of the monkey hill or something like this. This will lead to no civilization. This will be just a kind of conflicts. So if they have a kind of different kind of ethos, different kind of understanding of the whole universe, of the whole world, if they have more knowledge about the Bible, I think this will lead to different things. I will not say we will force the Chinese to really believe in what we are believing, but I think at a certain point of thing, they need to have this kind of establishment. Like in Japan, they have the kind of Shintoism, right? They have the kind of religion about something in the universe, They respect the land because the goddess has been watching you. In India, of course, there are a lot of conflicts, but there's still a lot of different kind of understanding of these things. And even in Europe, even in Russia, you see USSR is different from CCP because under USSR, there's a huge kind of group, they are believing in God, in the Orthodox system, right? So you will see that they have that kind of belief in the whole thing. So they do not want to dismantle all music, literature, everything. But in China, Mao Zedong, they dismantle everything. And then there's something that is really bad. Like in Cambodia, you have the Pol Pot, they dismantled everything, they kill everyone. They have no baseline for humanity. So I think if China has a future, then of course we need to make money. Many people will fight for power because it's part of the sins of humanity. Okay, but the point is whether you have that kind of ethos in your own minds. That's something. If you do this, if you kill people, if you really want to say obey the dictatorship, this is a sin, and this is something burnt in your own thing, and you need to move away. And if you move away, you obey and also follow the God's path. This will lead you to a different position in this world and in the next world that we'll be having. So I really urge people to really think through. I think the chance of Chinese getting through this kind of thing is not, I would not expect a very high chance of success. But I think my expectation is irrelevant when compared with their action. If they really act, then this chance will increase. And I think that's this part of thing is more important. I think the ethos change is more important than we need to anti-CCP, we crush Xi Jinping, crush CCP, and then what? That's my question. And then what? And then you want to establish something, another Xi Jinping, another CCP, or you want something really stable. And for that stability, you will not rely on something that is earthly beliefs in just for democracy. This kind of, what is behind democracy? Because democracy is not the best system; it's the least worst system. Okay, as Churchill said that. So, what is behind democracy is the ethos that we are having. We have a perspective of how our universe is organized. And if you have that kind of stable kind of thing, you will be humble to God, humble to yourself, and also be reflecting what we have been done wrong. If we have this kind of mentality, I think China has a brilliant future. If not, then this whole 3,000 years of bad circulation will be not true. And I would say many US people will see Chinese as based on Orientalism, or somehow we say that there's a different world, we do not want to care about this. But this world is now being organized in a very tight way. And if we don't care about them, they will care about US. They will not say the US is nothing about it. They will want to stretch their hands about US, especially CCP. So CCP has a lot of different ways to do things. So communism, this ideology is also ways of having this kind of thing. So the states will need to watch upon the resurgence of the CCP and communism ideas. So if it's far left or extreme leftist ideas, like you can see in the Charlie Kirk incident nowadays. So it's really not good for the civilization at all, and also not good for humanity, and not good to the Bible as well. So I would say that's something that the US will need to see what can be done in the States, and also what can be expected in China, and what can be done more about the China situation. Because if you don't just say, hey, China is something that's a neighborhood or some neighbors far away. No, they are actually in your courtyard. So this is something that they need to be, I think Americans need to be very alert about all these things.